Alright guys, this is going to be a map chat about Abbey. I'm going to explain the positions I go to. Obviously they're my opinion. If you don't agree with them, you don't agree with them, but these are the positions I go to. So starting off with TDs and spawning north on the red side. At the very beginning of the match, I like to go next to this hill over here. You can get up into this area right there very quickly, and you can aim and prepare to take a shot right there. If you have a scout or mediums come up here and spot anything, usually they'll have a scout or other mediums try to rush in there, and you can usually get a first really good shot off to help them win that area. Um, Immediately following that, I will move up this side, go up here and sit right there, um, waiting for any shots I'll have down this line towards towards any tanks that poke out. Obviously you want to be careful because if they're loaded and you come around that corner or peek up, you're going to take a shot for free. The other thing you have to pay attention to is how hard the enemy tanks are pushing down this side. If they push around the corner, you do not want to be caught up in this area. So if you see that happening, back up, get in a position over here. Um, Definitely don't want to take in the whole flank by yourself. So if it does end up at the start of the map or the start of the match, you're right here and you see that only like one tank went this way. Instead of going in there and dying, what you can do is go right here, wait to spot, get one shot off, back up, get out, and run your way over here. Obviously, you want to be in a little bit faster tank if you're going to do that, or faster TD if you're going to do that. You don't want to be in a slow one, like a JPZ or something like that. So if you're in a slow one, you don't want to go there, period. You just want to get in position ready to support the side. But if you're in a fast one, you'll spot and then you'll run back over here. What you're waiting for is spots and shots that you can get onto anything that comes down this hill or runs down here. You'll be able to shoot and get free shots on them. Also, if they push up here and try to get on cap, you can get free shots onto cap as well. It'll also, in case they sit, to the north side of cap or back in this area, if you have to, you can push up to save and reset cap. Just give them enough time for your team to push back and get some extra help in there. Another spot I like going to, if I'm in a heavily armored TD, would be down here at the very beginning of the match. I would skip that totally. I would rush all the way down. I'd get in a position over here. You're pretty already safe right there. You want to get ready to take shots here as tanks come around. Also, if you're here alone or if they're sitting back here, you do not want to be this far up. So if they're sitting back there, then you'll sit back here as well. Don't ever push up this by yourself or with only one other tank. Always keep in mind what's around you, how many tanks you have, ally tanks you have, and push accordingly to that. And that's pretty much the only two places I like going on this map with the TD. Obviously, there's other places, but those are the two I use, so those are the two we're going to go over. Now, as a scout, the couple of the obvious places at the very beginning, you want to rush down and try to get lights no matter what. Even if you're not going middle, just get lights. Anything that tries to go in, if you have TD set up or other tanks shooting down into the area, they'll be able to get shots on. So you'll set up and spot this direction. If nothing shows up, it might be a good idea to push up and try to get a spot. You don't want to push up if they're going to send mediums, a bunch of mediums or light tanks up there to get in your way. So that's the first place I would go, or at least spot at the very beginning. After that, you could push up into here, get into here and get behind this rock, or into one of these cubbies, whichever one is your choice. And you're going to keep these guys lit for artillery. You're also going to spot anything that tries to push up this way. You can also take shots if anything tries to move up this way. Just remember, if something sits right here, there's nowhere for you to go safely. So it is a very risky spot to go to if they send a bunch of mediums down into this area. But no matter what, you just want to get as many lights as long as possible in that area. You can also push up the other side at the very beginning of the match. what you'll do is at the very start, you'll run down here and you can get up onto this hill right here and get some spots down. If they try to run into here, you can get spots. You can also spot stuff as they come around. Just be careful, artillery and anything that sits right here can hit you if you're sticking out past the building. So keep that in mind. Now for a medium. Again, as a medium, you could pretty much do exactly the same as lights. In this map, they play pretty similar. So you'll push up into here, spot what you can spot, go in if you want to go in. After that, you can go around, sit into this area, and wait to take shots. You can move up if you want to as well, but you want to be 100% sure that nothing's going to shoot you when you do it. I wouldn't really take a medium over to this side. I'm not really sure it's a really good place for a medium, so I wouldn't normally do it. If it comes to a situation as to where you're getting capped out or you're about to get capped out, you can't get in this position because there's a TD right here, you can always get up onto this hill, just at the very least to try to shoot anything that comes up and spot it. It's always a small tactic. I wouldn't really do it, but the option's always there. Onto heavies. Heavies, I wouldn't take any heavies middle ever. Always go up to either this side or this side. Sit behind one of the vehicles if you have good armor to take shots down this line and spot, or move up to this corner or into this gully right here. This will save you from arty unless they're back in this bottom corner. But it'll save you from arty and let you take shots while showing minimum parts of your tank. The only parts you'll really be able to see is part of your right side of your tank, a little bit of your turret. So it's a good spot to sit to spot and do damage. Same here, behind the tanks, either one that you want, and spot and do damage down this line. When it's time to push, make sure you push. When you have to take a hit for your teammates, make sure you take a hit. Just make sure you always angle and bounce when you need to bounce. On this side, it's pretty much the same as the TDs. Push up here if you have the numbers to push up here. Sit back if you don't have the numbers. The further you let them progress down this line, the harder it is for you to win. Just understand that. If they get to this point, it's going to be pretty hard for you to win it, unless they have no artillery support or their artillery is bad. Other than that, that's pretty much all there is for that side. Let me clear the canvas real quick. We'll move on to the other side. All right. The other side's a little bit different. A lot of the same ideas. It is a pretty static map. It's pretty simple to position yourself on it and know what you need to do. It's not very complicated. At the very start in the TD, I would sit right here. Understand you can get spotted once they get up to middle, so be ready for it. Sit right here. If anything gets spotted, just wreck it. They have a long way to make this a much better side for shooting up middle, but you always want to be in position to take out any light tanks or mediums that try to push up into this area. After that, I would fall back down, either go up to this side or go around this side. Understand if you go the low route, you'll be exposed. You won't be able to get up to this area. You'll be exposed to anything that's sitting around in this area. Will be able to shoot you. So sometimes it's a better idea to go up and around that way. Now, you don't really want to poke around this corner when you are on this corner. What you're waiting for is for them to get aggressive and push up onto it. Then you can get shots, your arty can get shots. It's a very bad spot for them to be in. It's very tight. So not many tanks will be able to shoot you at once. Two will be able to come up and shoot at you, and then you could shoot back, track for arty, bounce. Obviously, you should be in a more heavily armored TD if you're going to do that position. This position right here is a good option as well. You can sit behind the buildings and watch down this corner, aiming back here, and try to get as many shots as you can. Make sure you position yourself behind these tanks so it's very hard to see you and get shots onto you. And obviously the other option is to push this line. At the very start, be wary that as you're pushing into this area, that something right here has potential to hit you as you're going by if you stay too far to the right. That includes Artie. But your main point that you're doing, or the main objective that you're doing as you're on this map, is you're pushing to get into this area. That's what you want to do. That's what you're hoping to achieve. Make sure you're not solo either. Again, if you don't have the numbers to push this 2, 3, 4 tanks, you do not want to push it by yourself or with only one other tank. Make sure you at least have 3 at bare minimum. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for TD. TD is pretty straightforward on this map. So we'll move on to light tanks. At the very beginning, no matter what light tank you're in, you always want to try to spot middle. Stay to the right side or the left side, but stay tight to it so that you don't block your TDs from shooting. It's one thing I see a lot of light tanks do a lot is they'll spot it, which is great, but they'll sit right in the middle and block all shots onto the tanks that the TDs could have, which you do not want to do. Then immediately after that, it's a good idea to either get into this position to keep spotting over this area, or you'll push up into here to take it. And obviously those choices are onto you. You're just trying to keep as much stuff lit as possible and as long as possible. You obviously do not want to die quick. So if you're in here and you notice there's a lot of tanks starting to come up, you can always run out. I'm pretty sure it's still like that. You can always run out of here, back down, and come back around. There's a little doorway or a little corridor you can run through and get out. And most light tanks can make that. Most scouts can. So shouldn't have any problem. And just get out. Don't wait till they're around the corner. If they're starting to come up and they make it to this part, just hightail it out. Spotting on this line, it's pretty similar. You can get up here and get into these buildings. Do some spotting. Spot as much as you possibly can, obviously. And that's pretty much it for light tanks on this map. It's a very small map, so there's not a ton of places to go. And it's going to be pretty similar for mediums as well. I wouldn't really take a medium anywhere from this side, left or right, unless we're rushing this line. So at the very start, I would spot here. If I have a teammate that's ready to go, we'll go up onto here. It's a good spot for a medium. If I have another teammate that's ready to push this side, or ally that's ready to really push this side hard, that's also be an option. Understand that if there's too much there, you'll die pretty easily. But you can try to get around this corner to get spots. It's not a very good spot, and it's not a very good strategy, but sometimes it'll work depending on the situation. If they leave this side pretty lightly guarded, or they're all looking up here, you can usually slide 2 mediums back. And you don't want to stay here and fighting around this corner. What you're going to do as soon as you get to the spot is you're going to drive right past and just get around. And what's going to happen with you doing that is as you pull up into and get in their base, they're going to send some back to shoot at you. You ain't trying to cap. You're trying to get down into this gully, take out TDs, and shoot flanking TDs or flank TDs that are in this area or in this area or in this area. Do as much damage to be as big as a distraction as possible. Obviously, try not to take too much damage doing it. So be aware of what's around you. Obviously, it's a little bit suicidal, but it can work depending on how many mediums you got that's doing it. And for mediums and man, that's pretty much it. They either play middle or they'll play a quick rush down the side and take out what they can. Heavy tank, straightforward, same as before. I usually always take my heavies up this road because the heavies are going to fight on this corner. Try not to peek with your weak spots out, so you'll try to side scrape it as best you can to get spots and get shots. If you get low in HP, just retreat back out, get down the side, and get up into the base and get ready to cover anything that's pushing. You do not want to be up in here in this area if you have no HP. So just a heads up. Same for this side. If you're going to push up right there and get Artie safe. Obviously, if Artie's over here, they can still hit you, so keep that in mind. And just block any push they have coming up. And that's pretty much all I have for positioning on this map.